That social priorities basically are threefold. One is to ensure or see that the cost of living for the common man is reduced, and which is what has been endeavored. That has been endeavored through this rate reduction exercise, and which covers basically all the aspects of life, whether it is roti, kapda, makan, footwear, health, home. Second key priority, which I felt again addressing the social side of it, is to also facilitate the ease of doing business, which again has been sought to be achieved by simplification of the tax rates, bringing it down to a two-tier structure, and fastening the refund process, so on and so forth.
So, by now, most of us have gone through the reforms announced by the government, by the GST Council. We had to look at these reforms from the perspective of the industry as well as from the perspective of consumer, because the reforms have been made in the manner that ultimately is the consumer who should get benefited. And of course, the concerns of industry or the different sectors of the industry have also been looked into. I will say that these reforms broadly address three different areas. The first area is rate rationalization or rate restructuring, where primarily most of the goods will now attract 5% and 18% of the rates. You know that 12% and 28% rates have been abolished. And most of the goods which were earlier attracting 12% rate have gone to 5%. Bulk of it, I will say more than 90%. Only few goods and services have been sent to 18%.
And not getting refund within the committed 7 days, rather not getting refund within 60 days increases, and therefore the probability of increase in litigation, increase in harassment, and increase in corruption also increases. That is what I can say. And last is, they have also simplified the mechanism for getting registration of a small taxpayer. They say 2.5 lakhs, if I am not wrong, 2.5 lakhs per month tak agar aapka rahega. Who is going to ascertain this? I am clueless. What will happen if we reaches 3 lakhs? What will happen if he is anticipating 3 lakhs but he takes registration saying that I will be having 2.5 lakhs or less? All these questions needs to be answered, which I am sure that once it is implemented, once we see the notification, then we will be able to make it clear to all the stakeholders that how this law is going to be implemented in the true letter and spirit. And last but not the least, one litigation which I foresee can come now would be if the commitments which have been given to a common taxpayer are not met. Is there any mechanism or is there any mode specified to raise our voice? Because earlier they
not mean, and you can conclude it is of no advantage to us. It was advantage, believe me, and that is how we have transferred from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. Sitting in Calcutta, if I know GST, I can apply provision Kashmir to Kanyakumari. But earlier it was not possible. If you are doing West Bengal VAT practice, you were restricted only to West Bengal VAT practice. But now sitting in here, you can argue a case in Karnataka, Kerala, AP, anywhere. So I say it was biggest indirect tax reform. Coming to next generation 2.0, had it been earlier, before US President Donald Trump, he had given India threatening with the US tariff, and 50% got levied from August 27, 2025. initially 25%, then penalty of 25%, and that is how it all, Honorable Prime Minister on 15th of August said, next generation. A rate rationalization we were talking about for a long time, since 2018. पर इनको हमारी बात समझ में कभी भी नहीं आ रही थी. हिंदी इंग्लिश चलेगा? So they were not interested at all, and all of a sudden when the US tariff of 50% got levied, they started looking at our domestic market. Vocal for local, make in India. Raise the consumption within India, demand in India, and then whatever denting coming in GDP because of our goods not going to US market, we can create and compensate within India market. That was the connection to me. But they're saying, ruling party saying, no, we were not concerned about. But let me tell you, this was a concern in their mind. And that is how they have come out with the reform, and they are saying it is going to benefit the consumer at large. कई बार रिपीट भी होगा कि अविनाश भाई ने भी कई पॉइंट कह दिए ट्रांजिशनल के, कई बार मैं भी उनको टच करूंगा, और अगर आप तीसरे स्पीकर को भी यहाँ बुलाएंगे तो वो हम दोनों को छोड़ के कोई तीसरा ओपिनियन आपको देगा.